Okay, we're looking at about 180 right there. Let's make this happen. We had a ton of fun hunting yesterday with the drilling rifle, and I want to get back out there and continue on our hunt, and hopefully we can find some more giant bucks. That's not exactly what I had in mind for giant bucks, but at least we do have a a mule deer buck out here at about 300 yards. That's a little better. We actually got a somewhat of a decent muley buck out there at about 200 yards exactly. Now, the angle that we have here, I think we're gonna have to hold for a heart shot, which it's definitely doable. We'll have to hold slightly high, but let's see if we can't make this happen. Did not get the heart, but that should take him down. Ooh, there was actually another good buck in there as well. I believe our buck did pile up because I never saw him come out here. In fact, I think that's him piled up right there. But I really want to try and get that other buck. That looked like a really nice buck. Okay, we should be getting pretty close to these bucks here. We just got a call from one right down over that ridge there. I don't know if it's going to be the exact same buck, but I believe it might be because I'm pretty sure there's only 2 bucks in this herd. We took down the one buck and the other buck looked pretty decent, and I think this might be him. Now what we might end up doing is actually switching over to 16 gauge slugs. So I'm really curious to see how they work on the mule deer. Alright guys, there's our buck right there. He's about 60 yards out from us. So let's zero in for 60. I want to go prone. Don't want to spook him. Zero in for 55. And should have been an awesome shot. He's down. First muley buck down with the 16 gauge slugs. That's pretty cool. You see, nice vital hit right there, and he ran. There's our other buck that we're looking for that we hit with the 9.3. So might as well grab the second buck first. He's a good one as well, and that's gonna be double lung shot at 58 yards with the 16 gauge slugs and a 221. He barely missed being a gold. I was gonna say, I know for sure you could use the slugs on these guys. Just wasn't quite big enough. Pretty good penetration though. 58 yard and double lung with the 16 gauge slugs. I'll definitely take that. And then over here we have this buck. Let's take a look at this one. And that's going to be a 213 yard left lung liver shot. Quite a bit high of the heart, but still a pretty awesome shot. A 190 muley buck. You guys remember the mule deer we got yesterday? That thing has a minimum of 270 to 335. Holy, that's a giant buck. That is our biggest muley that we've seen in quite some time. So we got the doe right there. Eventually what should happen is he should come back to that doe. We should be able to get a shot. Oh, we got his tracks right here. And this is kind of the last place that we saw him, cutting through here. But it's really thick, and he never actually did circle back around. So he could be potentially anywhere. Oh, it's going to be pretty difficult to be able to see him in here, but one thing we can't miss is the size of that giant rack popping up somewhere. There's no way we're going to miss that. There's the doe. There he is. He's 78 yards away. That's a beautiful muley buck right there. He's quartering slightly at us, so yeah, we're at the perfect range to take him down with the 16 gauge and the slugs. So we'll get just a little bit closer here. And we should be able to go for about like a 65, 70 yard shot, I would say. Something like that. So we'll get right here, back up a little bit, and take a look at that buck. That's an awesome buck right there. Alright, let's get a range on him. Okay, so he's going to be 70 yards. Exactly 70 yards right there. I think we'll zero in for 80. And we'll hold a little bit low. Smoked him. Still running. That was a pretty tough buck, but I think we only got a single lung because of the angle that he was at. You know, he was quartering slightly at us, and he was about 70, 75 out. So we're probably going to lose a little bit of penetration there, but either way, we definitely made it count. Well, let's go take a look. And here's gonna be our biggest muley that we've gotten in the past couple days right here. Probably the biggest muley that we've gotten in over a month or so, actually. Not only that, a super unique, incredible, symmetrical rack on that buck as well. So we'll take a picture and let's find out just what he's gonna score. That's gonna be a 274, and man, did we get gypped so hard. He had a minimum estimate of 275, and he ends up scoring 274.7. He's still an absolute giant muley buck, but man, with an estimate like that, that thing could have broke 300s easily. Super unique, very typical rack as well. And I do think we'll get him mounted because he's going to look incredible in our lodge. But a 71 yard single lung, we did catch that shoulder blade. I was holding low and we hit. And we still had a little bit of raise there. I was holding for kind of the top of the heart, and we had about a 2-inch raise, zeroed in for 80. But still a pretty awesome shot and a beautiful muley buck. I will definitely take that. So here's where we are. We're over here on the south end of the map by the Lago BB. Yesterday we got that buck right here, north of Lago BB. And now we're south of Lago BB. And we just got that big buck. He was feeding right here. He was drinking from about 9 o'clock until 12:30 right here. We ended up taking him down way over here at about 12:15 in the afternoon. We're sneaking up on a nice herd of muleys I just saw come over this ridge here, and I found this really nice stag. He's perfectly broadside 150 yards out, and we're going to take him down with the drilling rifle. Hold it right tight behind that front shoulder. And try and smoke him. Must have just missed the heart, but definitely smoked him. And he took off that way. Now, I don't think it's going to spook the muleys. They should be right over this next ridge here, so we should be alright. And I'm not seeing any blood yet, but I do see the stag piled up right there, and that's because the stag was sitting right tight against this tree right here. There's the vital hit, and there's our stag piled up maybe 40 yards away. He's got an awesome rack on him indeed as well. So let's take a look at this beast of a stag. I think we might be able to get a cool picture. Yeah, we can definitely get a cool picture of this guy. That is pretty awesome right there. Alright, maybe we'll go prone. And yeah, doesn't get much better than that. Let's go with that and let's pick him up. That's going to be a 199.6 scoring gold, and we double lung shoulder blade him at 155. Holy, I was holding for here, and we got quite a bit of raise to that. Maybe it's because he was up on a hill. I didn't compensate for that. I should have possibly held for kind of the bottom of the heart because he was up on that ridge. Oh my god, I thought that was a mule deer. It's a nice stag, but it's definitely not a mule deer. Jeez. That's a diamond muley buck. Holy, that's a diamond muley buck. I saw the rack from a long ways away and I'm like, that's a giant. Oh my god, I can't believe we found one. I don't know. I've seen that buck before, and I feel like he's gonna score like 305 or 310 or something like that. I think we need 315 plus to be diamond. But that is an absolute giant muley buck right there. I can't tell you how many times I've came to this spot before the True X did come out in search for a diamond potential OG muley, and I've never even seen a level 5. And now we're here, and we found a diamond potential muley. That is pretty incredible. So I think we're gonna take him with 9.3, and we'll probably take him at about like 200 yards exactly. That's not good. We got a puma out there. So we got a doe there. There were some more bucks out here too, so we got to be careful for them. There's a buck right there. About 230 out. Tucked in the shrubs. And there's our giant muley buck right there. He's perfectly broadside. The only thing is that doe's head is right where I want to put the crosshair. And that could potentially cause an issue. So we'll have to slide over a little bit more. Oh no, that's another giant buck. Wow, that's an awesome looking buck. I am not trying to spook these guys. Where'd they come from? Okay, we're looking at about 190. I think we're gonna go for about like a 190 yard shot here, guys. We can't get any closer because we have these muleys right on top of us here. Okay, we're looking at about 180 right there. Let's make this happen. Smoked him. Oh. He's down. That was a giant buck. Let's go get him. Man, I was so hesitant on taking that shot because that doe's head was right there. If you saw yesterday's video, it almost messed up a diamond axis deer on us because there was a female diamond, or I mean a female axis deer, and her head was basically obstructing the vitals of this diamond axis that we actually did end up getting. But anyways, we managed to pull it off, and this time, looks like we managed to pull it off as well. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never seen this rack before for mule deer. And I am not gonna pass up this opportunity to take down this puma, guys. Oh, that'll work! We went for a headshot. Definitely hit it. Let's put a follow-up in it quick. Got him! Nice. That'll take care of that issue. So I'm wondering if we hit the skull that first shot, but we'll find out in a second. Either way, this is our giant mule deer here. Our first level 5 that we've seen in quite some time. And he has an incredible rack as well. Take a look at that symmetrical rack right there. 2 awesome stickers. He's super, super wide. We'll definitely take a picture of him. But like I said, I've never seen this rack before, so I don't really know how big it's going to get. That's kind of what I was thinking. That's going to be a giant gold, a 309.6. I honestly was thinking he was going to score exactly 310. But 309.6 missed diamond by roughly 7 points. Still a phenomenal looking rack. Double lunged him at 207 yards, and you can guarantee you one thing. He's definitely going in the lodge. Let's just take a look at that shot. Just a textbook perfect shot placement right there. Just nicked the back of the heart and smoked double lung right behind the front shoulder with a 9.3. Absolutely incredible buck and a phenomenal shot on that thing. So let me show you the spot where we got that giant diamond potential mule deer. Now this spot here is just north of kind of the starting lodge here by the Casita de Sabina. Lots of people hunt this spot, but not a lot of people hunt this spot. We're actually right to the north here. They bed here from 12 o'clock until 1700. So you literally have about 5 hours non-stop to sit here and hunt this whole entire area for mule deer. Basically you just come here at well, like 12:40 I think it was. You run to this point here, and from this point you walk over to this ledge right here, and you can see from this hill all the way down, and that's where we got him right here. It was about 1300 in the afternoon. Well, let's go over here now and take a look at this puma. I'm really curious if we actually did hit it at the skull the first shot, because the second shot I think we ended up hitting it in the liver or like the spinal cord. Well, here it lays, and yes, I was right about that. The second shot we did catch the liver and actually the right lung at 170. It was only a female, but then we got a follow up right lung, stomach, liver. And she was down. Anytime you see a nice puma laying around, you better take that thing down as soon as possible. Luckily for us, we have the M1 and it's about 340 yards away. That should have been double lung. Yeah, double lunged him at 346 yards and a 37.6 score in gold. Puma. That's a pretty dark muley there, about 200 yards out. He's a beautiful buck, but he also looks a little bit dark. I can't quite tell if he's melanistic or not, but there's a chance he might be. We're gonna go for about a 200 yard shot here. Either way, it's a beautiful muley. And we just smoked him. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good 4x4. Let's pick him up. That's gonna be... Ooh. That's gonna be a big oof. That's what that's gonna be. Man, that's a cool looking buck. We hit him in the vertebrae. Never would have guessed that. That seems a little bit odd. Luckily, he wasn't melanistic. He's only gray. And we did get him, but that would have been a 248 gold muley right there. That's another good buck. That one's about 180 out this time. We are not going to go for a spine shot this time. Man, I wanted to take that shot so bad. We got it. That was so awesome. A walking quartering away shot at about 215 yards out, and we smoked him. Where'd that buck go? Ooh, I think we made a good hit on that one too. I'll have to go check that out, but it looked good. Looked real good, in fact. Well, this is the second one, and look at the blood. Wow. That's some really good blood. He only ran like 30 yards. That might have been lung and liver. And it's going to be double lung liver walking 182 yards at a 189 muley buck right there. That's an incredible shot, actually. And this buck here is going to be probably about like a 215 yard. And he's definitely going to be gold potential as well. So let's take a look at this beautiful muley buck. That's going to be a 240, and no way. A 189 yard walking liver right lung and a perfect heart shot quartering away. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. And a beautiful buck, 240.5 right there. You can see we just barely had enough penetration to be able to get through and touch that heart, but we definitely did connect. Overall, we had a pretty successful hunt. We ended up taking down that giant 310 scoring almost diamond muley, and then that 274 scoring muley, and this 240 giant muley buck. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.